Hi, welcome. Jamie here at the Hedge Teacher. It's Wednesday, the 8th of May, 2019, and it's 1:45 Central European time. Quite a nice day here in Mallorca, and I think we're looking at about 17, 18 degrees. They're not quite as warm as yesterday. Let's have a look, see what the markets are doing. New York opens in about 45 minutes, but here in Europe, they've been open for quite a while now. So let's have a look. Gold is coming in at $1,289.80, so pretty close to that $1,290, and that's up almost 5 points. That had a low of $1,284.90 and a high of $1,291.30. Silver is coming at $14.97, so getting closer back to that $15 mark, and that's just dropped down in the last hour or so, a low of $14.78, but did have a high of $15.03, so it did manage to get over that. Platinum coming in at $869, and that's $4, 4 points down in the last 24 hours. Onto the cryptocurrency. In fact, all the precious metals, hasn't been a lot of movement there over the last 24 hours. It's been relatively stable. Onto the cryptocurrency market, we have Bitcoin at $5,911.54. So slowly but steadily, that was moving up there closer to that $6,000 mark, although it's just slightly down at the moment. Ethereum coming at 170.52, and that's down just on 4%. Ripple made it to that 30 cent mark, so it's just holding over that at 30.0833, even though that's showing down at 1.5%. And all the rest are down. Binance Coin is down 8.4%, and I think that may have to do with the news that we're getting onto a little bit later on. Looking at some of the major stock prices around, the Dow 30 is at 25,965.09. That's down $473.39. And yesterday it was quite a shaky market. It was up and down all over the place. If you look at the charts, it really does show that. The S&P 500 is at 2,884.05, and that's down $48. And the NASDAQ is 7,963.76, and that's down $159. News around the place. Going to CoinGap, we have Bitfinex LEO white paper is now live. The Binance hack update. Binance not pursuing rollback approach. But they're certainly telling people about security, to update their security settings to safeguard their funds. They're saying here that it was hacked for $40 million. So yes, that was news that came out 8 hours ago on CoinGap. And Bitcoin BTC on-chain transaction volume in US dollars must moon to confirm a bull run, and that's from their local analysts. Onto the crypto potato, a little bit of news here. Did Binance really get hacked? These conspiracies might prove otherwise. Billions at risk. Binance says no withdrawals for 7 days following the 7,000 BTC hack. So they're just tightening everything there. Whether it's conspiracy theories or not, we may never know, but time will tell. Moving through onto cryptocurrency news, talking about Donald Trump paying zero taxes in a decade, but he's lost more money than every other American. Facebook coin crypto users will trip on gateway drug Bitcoin, as from the venture capitalists. And defiant Binance CEO insists that we aren't short on funds after a $40 million hack. To the other one, we have Bitcoin exchange guide, Ethereum price predictions today, the Binance loss of 7,000 Bitcoins. Yes, they've lost that many. Singapore crypto exchange ZebPay launches its services now in Australia. And could government authorities in China utilize a blockchain to secretly monitor its citizens? Other news around the place we have today: Porsche has been fined $535 million over the diesel emission scandal. German prosecutors imposed a penalty on Volkswagen subsidiary for negligent violations of supervisory duties. relating to what they call the Dieselgate, which erupted in 2015 after Volkswagen admitted to cheating emissions tests. Porsche says it won't appeal the fine and hopefully bringing it to a close. So far, Volkswagen has been hit with over 30 billion euros in fines. Former Danske Bank CEO Thomas Borgen has been charged over his role in one of the world's largest money laundering scandals. That reports the Danish newspaper Børsen. The bank is under investigation for over 200 billion euros of suspicious payments that flowed through its tiny Estonian branch between 2007 and 2015. Mining giant BHP is facing 5 billion damages claim over the dam collapse in Brazil, which killed 19 people. European Commission has downgraded its EU growth outlook for 2019. And those of you who've been catching up on some of the social media sites have seen that Starbucks got a royal treatment from the Game of Thrones last week when one of its iconic coffee cups was accidentally left in front of a leading character. So interesting from there. The idea of the day, this is on LinkedIn, creativity is one of the primary skills that will set people apart as we enter the new phase of work, says Bernard Marr. Robots currently can't compete with human on creativity, and the future workplace is going to demand new ways of thinking, and human creativity is the key. And really is, and I've talked about that in some of my blogs about, okay, yes, AI is fantastic, is great, but there's still a need, a necessity for human intervention when it comes to thinking and creativity. So, there will be jobs, there will be employment opportunities there. It's just for people to step up and make the most of the new opportunities that come by. And of course, one of those is blockchain technology and the technicians there. And I've again mentioned in my blogs, even up to 4 or 5 months ago, that with this new technology, they're needing technicians in this field. There's a shortage, and as people realise that the benefits, and this is all through the community, the benefits to industry, to organisations, to charities, is immense. And anyone that has any type of training to do with blockchain or blockchain technology will be swept up and being paid very well for their services. What I would like to mention today is, I have brought it up before, is reading. Is this book here is Personal Careers and Financial Security, the Uncle Eric series by Richard J. Maybury, and this one here. It's the second edition, and it goes on to the economics, geopolitics, justice, and history, and it's good for adults and children. There's a whole series of these. It's very good reading. It's unbiased, unpolitical, and gives you a good idea of what has happened in the past and how it is affecting us now. Some of the other titles here, Whatever Happened to Penny Candy? They're all very good reads. Whatever Happened to Justice? Are you liberal, conservative, or confused? Ancient Rome and how that affects us today. What would Thomas Jefferson think about the money system that we have at the moment? And then the money mystery, talking about fiat currency, and that is the Clipper Ship Strategy. That's a very interesting read as well. And I'll go through probably one of these books every 2 or 3 times a week there to explain a little bit more about it. The 1,000-Year War in the Mid-East, and how in the Mid-East that they never had countries until America and England put their fingers into the pie and obviously wanted what they had under the ground and divided them up into countries. Before that, they were nomadic, so they didn't have need for countries, but the dollar and people's greed has changed all that over there, and how that 1,000-Year War is still affecting us today. And we can see that with what's happening around with the news stories and the fights going on. The books are World War I, the rest of the story and how it affects you today, and World War II, the rest of the story and how that still affects you today. So that's the Uncle Eric series of books by Richard J. Maybury, and there's a whole series there, and worth the read for adults and for children, say from 12, 13, 14 upwards from there. All right, that's about it for today. Hope you're having a great day, and I look forward to catching up with you tomorrow. and have a fantastic rest of the day. And we'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.